Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching episode 3 of the Smallin and Ballin series on Frühling. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, we are back in the saddle here, ready, rip-roaring, and just plain old loving it. Ooh, I tell you what. So, a couple things have happened. This is still the same month. Last we left off, it still was September. We are still in September, but our money has gone up quite a bit. We've done a couple contracts since we last left off. I finished plowing up my field that was up there right next to the farm. Let's see here. Contracts wise, we did a cultivating contract for about 800 bucks. A fertilizing contract on field 10, 8, 7, 13, and 15. We ended up getting 1500 on one, 1500 on another, 2200 on another one, 2500 on another one, and just a hair over 3000 on another. So we did pretty good. We had to fill up our fertilizer tank once, so that was about $3,000 coming out, and now here we are sitting at $22,000. Okay, so with that being said, I took a contract out on this field here. When I took the contract out, it still said that this field could have been harvested. As soon as I accepted that contract, the state changed to wither. Now, why does that matter to us? I want this field. I'm going to buy this field. I am going to go ahead, and I accepted the contract on this field thinking that, okay, I'm going to keep this thing from changing states. So now we're going to come in here, we're going to buy that, and now that is our field. One thing I am kind of curious, let's see what happens with contracts. Okay, it just goes away. That's fine. That's what I figured was going to end up happening, but I wanted to go ahead and give that a shot as is. Now we may have to get a little fancy here for just a second. When I was plowing my field that was up by the farm, I believe that's field 12, I actually had to change the transmission over to doing a manual transmission. It just kept on wanting to get up to 6-7 miles an hour, then it wanted to upshift. Well, the next gear above, it could not handle it. It'd drop it down to 3, 2, 1. It would stop and then start the process back over at a lower gear, rev up to like 6, 7, and then shut her down again. So we'll kind of be playing this one by ear. By going ahead and throwing it into manual, though, that was kind of neat. I hadn't really done that before. I did just a very, very little bit of that, just to kind of try it out to see what it was all about. And now, you know, after doing it, I kind of feel a little bit more comfortable with it. I understand how the game has progressed just a little bit further. Some of the vehicles that we've been getting so far here on 22 seem to be just incredibly poor when it comes to the horsepower, the quality, the things that we get in that general direction. It wasn't until I put the manual transmission that I really realized that, okay, this makes sense. The tractors, the trucks, everything is geared entirely differently. It's set up an entirely different way compared to 19. So where these vehicles that we have on here just seem to be having issues, things like that, it really isn't the case. They work better out in the fields at a lower gear compared to trying to go as fast as you possibly can in the higher gears. So it really gave me quite a bit of appreciation, like that right there. So hang tight for just 1 second, guys. I'm going to come in here like this, and I'm going to turn this back to manual. I've tried doing it with the clutch. I'm going to pass for now. All right, so it does start the tractor back off at nothing. There we go. Get this guy rocking and rolling. For granted, if you're plowing, you're not going to go ahead and go around the corners nice and tight like that anyways, so I'm okay. There's some reality coming on here, but there's also some, yeah, we get it. We get it. We understand. But this does bring up a much larger issue that we're going ahead and facing right now, is all of these rocks out in the field. Now, I did just spend a bunch of my cash, and that part is unfortunate. We had $22,000. We're now down to $2,000. That stinks. It is kind of unfortunate, but the way I see it is that we need these lands, we need the fields in order to make money. And that's just what we're going to end up having to do. Obviously, doing contracts, that's nice. We're getting paid to do all these bits and pieces and the tasks, but you don't make as much money as compared to how much you can make when you're actually owning the fields, harvesting the fields, and getting the max yields out of the fields as possible. And that part is unfortunate. That part really is. Shift there. That question of the day. Question of the day. What do you guys feel about the manual transmission, doing the shifting the gears by yourselves? How do you feel about them? I personally, like I'm finding out right here, there's a place for it. There definitely is a place for it. And I think it's kind of cool. So comment down below. Let me know what you think about the manual transmissions going on here. What do you think? Is it good? Is it net positive? I guess my thoughts on this would just strictly be if I don't even know if it would work, but if you go ahead and have the game set up for doing automatic transmission, automatic shifting, have the tractors geared differently compared to how they would be if you were to do manual. Because some people just don't like doing the extra step of doing the manual thing, and well, they're kind of hurting with some of the tractors. Obviously, you're narrowing what you can go about doing, but well, ultimately it is what it is. It has to be a preference thing. Anyways, yeah, I'm thinking that by going ahead and doing this, getting a couple more contracts, we should be pretty good. I would like to buy a seeder. So keep that in mind. I think the one I got my eye on is like $12,000 to $17,000. We'll see. We'll see. I may have to lease it for this first harvest. And the roller that I'd like to get, I don't think I have enough money to do. So I'm going to hold off on that. I may end up buying or leasing a cheaper roller, just to be able to roll these rocks right back in the ground, and we'll go for there. And when it comes to the next time we look at going ahead and harvesting, I think at that point we're going to go ahead and look at getting ourselves a mulcher. Well, not harvesting, but having to go ahead and after we harvest, we get going that way, we're going to look at getting a mulcher. So, I mean, we got things going ahead. We got plans. We have a process. We're going to win. We're gonna beat this challenge. We're gonna get all of the fields. They're all gonna be wearing our banner, raising our flag. You betcha, it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of how long is it gonna take? What type of things is it gonna take to get us there? I mean, other than just grit, toughness. Well, maybe not. Maybe cowering in the corner might not be a bad idea. Oh man. So I guess what I'm going to keep on going ahead and doing here, guys, is I'm going to keep on giving the land a rip right over here. And, you know, I'm probably going to catch up with you guys tomorrow when it gets to be light. Oh, shoot, I accidentally turned the tractor off. Gosh darn it all. I'll probably catch up with you guys when it gets to be light out. Maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be another contract that'll pop. Currently, there's just a baling contract and a seeding contract right now, so I really can't jump into those too much. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan moving forward. I guess at this point, like I said, we will catch you guys in the AM. Well, here we are again. Another day, another month, however you want to look at it. Yesterday we did pretty good. We made just a hair under $31,000, and unfortunately, we did add 10 grand to our debt. So, yeah, things happened yesterday. Mistakes were made, but progress is ultimately made. Now, you did see a new thing that we ended up getting. It was a roller. But before we get too far, we ended up grabbing this little bad mamma jamma right here. Now, I was going to go ahead and throw up some pictures from the contracts that I had completed. I did end up completing a couple contracts here. Two of them were sewing contracts for, ended up being about $2,400. And then three fertilizing contracts, which ended up giving me just a hair under 3 grand. So not too shabby, but I did get this little bad mamma jamma right here. And this is the Isra, I think I said that right, the Isra 6000S by Driver 300. This is a cross-platform friendly little bad mamma jam we got here. It is on the Mod Hub. It is 7 grand and needs 35 horsepower to rock and roll, is 3 meters working with, drives at 9 miles an hour, and can hold 700 liters of seed for this little guy. Not too shabby. It is 6.31 megabytes to download if you guys want to take a look at it. Like I said, it is in Mod Hub. You guys are more than welcome to jump on it. So it was kind of cool. This cost 7 grand. We got about 3 grand for doing seeding contracts, and as you guys can see here, we have about 500 liters left in here. Not too shabby. I think it ended up costing right about $500 to fill this thing up with seed too. So all in all, I think as time moves on, I think that's going to be a pretty darn good purchase for us. Now, obviously, you know, it was just a little bit of a pain in the butt to get ourselves rocking and rolling to begin with, but not as big of a pain in the butt as it was to try and roll this field, roll all the stones out of it in the dark. It got to be to a point, guys, where I was taking my flashlight, shining it on the rocks out here, trying to find them, aiming the tractor, driving over the rocks, pushing them under the ground, and then that was that. Not very cool. Not very cool at all. As you can see, it was a goofy pattern which we had going out here. I could not do it. Oh, but this little bad mamma right here is an Una U601. Oh, or 0. Not sure what it is. It's by Zimaway. Sorry if I get that wrong. Zimini Wahunik. Hopefully I got that right. Not too bad. This also is a cross-platform mod. Not too shabby. It costs $900. 20 horsepower. 20 horsepower to run. Working with this 1.7 meters, goes 9 miles an hour, and has 1.01 megabytes to download. Like I said, this little bad mamma jam is in Mod Hub as well. The only thing is you hop in the tractor, you get rocking and rolling with this thing, and the way this thing ends up working, let's go back out here, is it's always on, it's always engaged, so it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's like I said, it's just always on. Now, one thing I was doing here just to do a little test, I threw my helper out to rock and roll with this thing, and because the working width is pretty narrow on here, I actually was having a very hard time going ahead and actually pushing the stones back down into the field. So this actually became quite a problem for me, having to go back over things that I've already done, places that I had already been, to try and push the stones down. That kind of stinks. What I think I'm going to end up doing, because I still have that other field down there, is I might look at getting I don't know, maybe I'll look at getting a front bucket. Maybe we'll earn a couple extra bucks here to just replace this thing. Now, I did buy this. It was only $900. So ultimately, if we are only using it just for this one field, that's not the end of the world. Now, I'm not opposed to using small machinery, small items, small implements. Obviously, that's kind of what we're doing right here. But in this case, it almost was incredibly unhelpful. Now, obviously, going ahead and rolling my crops, doing the things I have to do for that, I mean, I do what I have to do. But as for this particular setup, I am looking to replace this as soon as possible. Yesterday, when I had absolutely no cash, I didn't have many options. I mean, it was what it was. This morning, we picked up a couple fertilizing contracts, one on 13, 5, and 2. All right. Those are the ones for there. And we do have a couple fields that are ready to go. You have 3 and 15. Contracts have not popped for those two yet. This one here, I believe, is soybeans. So this one would actually be pretty nice for us to go ahead and harvest and keep a little bit of the extra, or maybe even selling it. 15, on the other hand, that's corn. We'd end up having to look at getting a corn header for that. The corn header that we have currently, or not the corn header, the corn header for our harvester that we got, I think it was only, let's double check, I think it was only 7 grand. It really wasn't too much at all. Let's come take a peek at that. Oh, not even, just a hair under. So we go ahead, we could buy this. We'd be making some pretty good cash. We could even lease it. I mean, I'm really trying not to lease things, guys. I mean, it doesn't seem like it by the fact that I'm leasing all of this stuff. But it's kind of the plan. It's kind of the plan to go ahead and not lease things. You know, be productive with what we're doing. Oh, that's right. We wanted to come in here and take a look at this. So this was the other thing that I was going ahead and doing. I was looking at this, trying to figure out where I could find some of these things. These rocks right here along the edge of the field, I cannot get to come off. These are not actually on the field, and those are not actually on the field. But as you can see right here, that's fertilized. Well, how is that possible? Well, I decided I'd go ahead and expand that field. And I did the same thing down here on 14. You can't really see it too well because we got all this stuff on. Let's turn this off. You can see right here, there's a thin strip along the bottom edge of the field here. I went and expanded the field just a little bit. I figured, you know what? I was talking about maybe we'll wait until it needs lime or stuff like that, but it's a thin strip right there. It's a thin strip right there. That little bit of yield difference, it's not going to be the end of the world here. It really isn't. So I'm not concerned about that at all. What I am kind of concerned about is doing work at night. Now, I don't like doing it. I don't want to do it. But this tractor has no headlights. And as I found out last night doing this stuff, it actually is a really big problem. More so than I was originally anticipating. So what I'm going to do here right now is I'm going to get this guy off to the side here. I will be planting in both my fields today. I think we talked about doing canola, either canola or soybeans. I'll have to go back and double check and see what things are saying for us right now. But I know it's one of the two. That I do know for sure. But I think contracts are still a little bit more of an emphasis, a need. Yeah, they really are a need at this point because I need to make money. I need to buy better equipment. I need to replace that guy right there. I have something in mind that I want to replace that with, but I don't have the cash for it just yet. So all I can do for the time being is do a little bit more on these contracts, see what I can do to make the magic happen to line my pockets with the green stuff. Well, in the U.S. it's the green stuff. All over the world it's different colors, but yeah, that's what I need. I need to make some money. And unfortunately, that means contracts are, well, it's kind of like the dance with the devil, I guess. Dance with the devil, you betcha. Well, I have been kind of busy here. It's a good thing. Very good thing, I'd say. We did complete a couple contracts, as you guys had seen there. A couple fertilizing contracts and some spraying contracts. I did the same thing with the spraying contract as I did last time. I just leased one of the sprayers, went and sprayed it with my herbicide, and there you go. We had that stuff done. we also had a harvesting contract. The soybean harvesting contract did come up, so we got that going for us right now. All right, here we go. Turn here. Now prices for soybeans as of this moment are really, really low. So I am going to try and save whatever we can, because my plan is, once I get these fields taken care of and I start rolling in all the rocks and all that jazz, I'm going to plant soybeans out there in our fields. So we will have some left over to go ahead and sell. Okay, it is going. Perfect. I was a little worried there for a second. Another thing did come up, though. Field 15. That was corn in there. That was a harvesting contract as well that we actually went and picked up. And the good news is, all these contracts that we've done so far today... Oh, I completely forgot about that. Shoot. Well, I made 500 extra bucks. You'll get that. We'll go ahead and collect that. All the contracts that I've done today paid for my header. Now, what did I end up getting? I did end up getting the header that goes along with my harvester that I got. So that's what I ended up getting for just a little over $6 grand, almost $7 grand. And that actually, if you come on here, we'll take a look at this really quick. Let's see, where are we here? That is right about how much we got off of contracts. So not too shabby. I'd say that's a win. Plus the little bit extra that we got here. Well, we pretty much paid for that. Now, you might be asking yourself, you might not be asking yourself, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna pull up here and get some gas. You know, does it make a lot of sense to get corn? We haven't really talked about doing corn or anything like that. Yeah, I know I really haven't talked about doing corn, but I think, you know, at least if we have the capability of doing the contracts, I think that helps out a ton in itself. 136, not too shabby. Not too shabby for fuel. Oops. Kind of got lost track there. Alright, I'm gonna go like this. Makes it a little easier for me to see. I think if we allow ourselves to do all the contracts, or at least I should say as many as we can, because as of this moment, I really can't do... we'll go this way. I really can't do much with the potatoes, sugar beets, cotton. There is a cotton harvesting contract, but there is none that I know of. No cotton harvesting anything. Mods, in-game stuff, nothing that would actually meet our requirements. So until there is something that we can harvest cotton at a relatively low horsepower, there's nothing we can do. It's kind of unfortunate. Cotton is a great moneymaker. Pretty much counts that out. Now, the one thing I'm not sure of, and I would have to go ahead and double check, that would be sugarcane. Now, I don't know if sugarcane is actually a contract that we'll see pop up here on this. I don't know. I just don't know at all. So I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Speaking of which, I just barely made it through here with my corn header. I was going to go ahead and take the harvester down to the shop, put the corn header right up on top of the trailer, my header trailer, and then drive it back. But I figured, you know what, I'm down there. It's narrow. We'll just go ahead and drive it on back, and we will be good. So I'm going to stop right there, pop on out. And there it is, in all its splendor. $6,800 for that butte. You can just smell the green. Oh, man. Yeah, but like I was saying, it gives us the opportunity. We're not counting ourselves short. We're not limiting what we can do on all the contracts. We're opening things up for the possibilities, at least, of being able to make, well, as much money as we possibly can, and as fast as we can. Now, I'm not trying to go ahead and break any land speed records when I'm doing this challenge or anything like that, but I am looking at being efficient. Um, I'd like to say that I've learned a thing or two since my Kleinsland lower horsepower challenge that I did over a year ago, about a year ago. But, well, I'd lying. I still make mistakes. I still screw things up. I say I don't have this down yet. I don't have this farm sim stuff down yet. I really enjoy the game. Really, really enjoy the game, and I think that is one of the things that keeps bringing me back. There are so many different options out there. I mean, different things that you can go ahead and do, games-wise. Even myself personally, I don't really like Farm Sim. I enjoy playing other games as well. But the way that I like to describe this to people that follow me on Twitch and listen to my streams, and even when I have the opportunity to share it with you guys, there is just something oddly addicting in this game. I don't know what it is. I'll have people from time to time come in and never played the game before, never played Farm Sim at all, and they really enjoy just watching. They enjoy asking questions. They enjoy something about it, and I get it. I get it. It goes down the same line of, you know, me constantly coming back to this game. It's just, there's something about it. There's just something about it. You know, you have a lot of the naysayers, the negativity that we'll get from time to time when it comes to the game and this, that, or the other thing. There's just, I don't know, there's always something that draws me in. I can't necessarily put my finger on it. I can't necessarily put it into words, other than it's just oddly addictive. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a lone wolf on that aspect. I don't know. Let me know what you guys would have to say. When you guys comment down below, I want to know when you guys started playing Farming Simulator, whatever number it was, 19, 22, 17, 15, whatever, doesn't matter. When you started playing it, did you think that you were going to really enjoy it? Was it unexpected? Was it something that you didn't have very high expectations for, and it ended up hooking you? Just bringing you in, hook, line, and sinker, there you go, stick a fork in you, you're done. You know, whatever phrase you want to use. Did it get you? And I guess if you don't play, has it done the same for you? I mean, obviously, you're sitting here watching, and I do appreciate it. I really do. Did it have that same effect on you? Did it get you hooked in? Did you pull you in the same way that it did me when it came to playing? I mean, I love watching this, too. I absolutely love watching it. I mean, this is filthy. And I really got to invest in some sort of watching mechanism or something, but did it bring you in? Did it hook you? Like I said, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of that. I don't think I'm alone on this one, but you know, I never know. I never know. Just a little bit there. Pop back out here so I don't miss all that stuff. But I'm going to keep on rocking and rolling here. I'll get this taken care of. And what I'll probably end up doing then, guys, is I'll probably catch up with you. I'm not sure if it'll be right after the harvest or whatnot. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening here. Maybe we'll have a little clip. And at some point here, the beat continues on and on and on. And we have actually completed, well, I shouldn't say we've completed just yet. We are in the process of completing this harvesting contract. Now, I am going to try and stop this time, so I'm going to pay attention. Currently, we have about 400 liters of corn left. And I think if I stop this correctly, we should end up getting about 1,000 liters altogether. So we'll go ahead and see here how this all ends up working out. Now, obviously, 1,000 liters isn't going to do us too much, but later on, as time progresses with animals, that may help us out just. Oh yeah, we actually going to have way more than I thought. Yes. 2,000 liters, so we're going to have about 2,500 liters of corn in our silo. That is super cool. Let's come on over here. So that's, like I said, that's what we were sitting at right there. Let's go ahead and complete this contract. Collect. Right there. Sweet. Oh, cool. We're going to go ahead and collect that one. Or not collect it. We're going to accept that contract. We'll accept that guy too, and this is that cotton one that we cannot do, so pretty darn slick. Now, if I remember correctly, pigs are the animals that actually need corn. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. There may or may not be pigs on this map. I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember off the top of my head. But even if that's not the case, corn prices, like everything else so far, it just has not been the best price. So why not take the time? Let's sit on this. Let's see what we can make do with it. And we'll just make more money later on. I mean, why not? Why not? So we'll go back over to the farm, dump this trailer off, which I'm still leasing this thing. I really need to start doing something with that. Oh yeah, speaking of which, let's stop right here. Let's stop right here. I want to do this right now so that you guys can witness it. Repay. I did not take any out. We're paying some back. Yes. I mean, I did take some out a little while ago, but well, we're not going to worry about that. Little details, little minor details. Oh, man. So I am pretty excited here. We are going to be coming up and planting. Sorry, I was drawing a blank here. We're going to come up here and start planting, well, seeding, really. And soybeans. That's where we're going to go with this. We're going to go soybeans. Sorry about that. Again, just my brain is just absolutely frazzled. And it's frazzled because I've done something that I said I wasn't going to do, and I lied. Yes, I lied. So what ended up happening was rolling the field that we did out here in front of us here, this field 12, took so long. It was such a pain in the butt with what we had going on there that I actually took the roller and hired somebody to do some of the rolling. That new field we got, I think it's field 14, the long skinny one. Yeah, that's what I ended up having to do. So while I was harvesting and filling stuff up, I had a helper out in the field going ahead and doing that. I know I said I was going to try not to, but I did. I did it anyways, and well, you know what? I regret nothing. At this point, that's all I can do is just regret nothing. Oh man, but we will go ahead. Let's get this set up. Soybeans, perfect. We will go ahead. We're going to plant this. And as you can see here, this is already all good to go. This little section right here that I plowed just a little bit, that needs lime. We won't worry about that now. We're going to go ahead and... You know what I think I'm going to do first? I normally do this, but I haven't recently. I think I'm going to go ahead and fertilize this first and then do my seeding. I think that's probably going to be the way we go about doing this. Then I think at that point, well, I will go ahead and roll. But then I think since I fertilized, I've done another process, which would be seeding. I'll go ahead and roll, which will be another process. I should be able to fertilize a second time and get all my fertilizing done. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think that is going to work that way. And unfortunately, what really kind of stinks is I don't want to say it is starting to get a little late. It's been kind of weird, you know, being here in October. Oh, shoot, geez, gosh darn it. Being here in October, this is pretty much as bright as it's gotten all day. So I'm not really sure where they have this map particularly set up at. It's got to be somewhere high in the northern hemisphere. That's pretty much all I can say, just by the way that the lighting is and how it's saying it's really never getting dark. Or I should say never really getting all that light, I should say. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, this is kind of how it's looked all day long. It's not the end of the world. I mean, it could be worse. I'm not going to let it bother me that much. Not even the slightest bit. But I think this point right here, guys, is where we're going to have to say our goodbyes and until our next times, because we're running out of daylight. Oh, man. No, this is where we're going to go ahead and say our goodbyes and shut things down for this time. But if you guys are liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. Go ahead and help the channel out by hitting that subscription. Hot dog, that really does mean a lot to me. Turn the notification bell on and have it set to all. That way you know when this and other great videos are coming out by myself. Ooh, yeah. If you want to, go ahead and share this with somebody who likes dancing. Yeah, dancing. Doesn't even have to be fancy dancing, just little dancing, you know? Just a little dancing. Oh, man, it's time to go ahead and start planting our very first field. I'm super stoked about it. Hopefully you guys will come on back, see how things are going. But until we get to that point, let's get this up here. Let's get this up here. Let's get rocking and rolling. Drop that like it's hot. Oh, it's magical. Thanks for stopping by.